Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the Masters, the weekend's NBA games, and then NHL Major League Baseball opening weekend. Look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. We'll recap the weekend's MLS games. We'll go over the NASCAR races from the weekend from Martinsville. MLB Power Rankings, the first one of the season, with the theme being I won't be shocked if it's insert names last season with the team. News and notes and best bet. All right. I said we'll start with the Masters. It was a fun Masters as your winner with the final score of 10 under, Scottie Scheffler. Second with the score of 7 under, Rory McIlroy, who had a great Sunday. Tied for third was a tie between Shane Lowry and Cam Smith with 5 under. Fifth with 4 under is Colin Morikawa. Tied for sixth with 3 under, Walter Zalatoris and Justin Thomas and Sungjae Im. Or no, my bad, Corey Connors, Walter Zalatoris. Tied for 8th with 1 under, Justin Thomas and Sungjae Im. Tied for 10th at even was Cam Champ and Charles Schwartzel. Tied for 12th with 1 over, Dustin Johnson and Danny Willett. Tied for 14th with 2 over, Henry Higgs, Taylor Gooch, Jason Kokrak, Minwoo Lee, Kevin Na, Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki Matsuyama, Lee Westwood, Matt Fitzpatrick. Tied for 23rd with 3 over, J.J. Spawn, Harold Varner III, Sergio Garcia, and Robert McIntyre. Tied for 27th with 4 under, Seamus Power, John Rahm, Victor Hovland. Tied for 30th with 5 under, Sub Straka, Hudson Swafford, Lucas Glover, Ryan Henley, and Mark Leishman. Tied for 35th with 6 over, Tony Finau, Joaquin Neiman, Patrick Reed, and Webb Simpson. Tied for 39th with 7 over, Siwoo Kim, Bubba Watson, Patrick Cantlay, Taylor Hogue. 43rd with 8 over, Brett Horschel. Tied for 44th with 9 over, Kevin Kisner and Christian Ziedenhout. 46th with 12 over, Cam Davis. 47th with 13 over, Tiger Woods. It was incredible to see Tiger make it to Sunday in his first tournament back in about a year plus. And I think he should be proud of that. He had his fans behind him. He didn't have that great of a finish to the tournament, but the fact that he made it to Sunday, I think, is a huge accomplishment for him. And hopefully we see him in the PGA Championship. I think he played well enough to make it into Sunday into the PGA Championship. And it's just amazing that he just came back and doesn't really look injured. And I'm happy for him. Rest of the results. Tied for 48th with 14 over, Adam Scott and Max Homa. Tied for 50th with 15 over, Daniel Berger and Mackenzie Hughes. And 52nd with 17 over, Tyrell Hatton. And then notables cut. Kyunku Lee, Brian Harmon, Zach Johnson, Sam Burns, Ryan Palmer, Lucas Herbert, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, Stuart Sink, Abraham Ancer, Xander Schauffele, who was my pick, Francesco Molinari, Luke List, Evan Van Rooyen, Justin Rose, Gary Woodland, Cameron Young, Bryson DeChambeau, and withdrawing from the competition was Louis Ooltsen. Alrighty, so that was a fun tournament, and next weekend we have the RBC Heritage from Harbortown Golf Links, so that should be a fun tournament. We'll see who plays in that. Alright, now move on to the NBA from the weekend, as we will go over the final weekend of the regular season. Friday night, Bucks over the Pistons, 131-101. Knicks over the Wizards, 114-92. Nets over the Cavs, 118-107. Raptors over the Rockets 117-115. Heat over the Hawks 113-109. Hornets over the Bulls 133-117. Mavericks over the Trailblazers 128-78. Suns over the Jazz 111-105. Lakers over the Thunder 120-101. Saturday, 76ers over the Pacers 133-120. Grizzlies over the Pelicans 141-114. Warriors over the Spurs 100-94. And Clippers over the Kings 117-98. And then yesterday, all 30 teams played. Nets over the Pacers 134-126. Brooklyn finishes the regular season at 44-38. Indy finishes at 25-57. Hornets over the Wizards 124-108. Hornets finish 43-39. Washington finishes 35-47. Cavaliers over the Bucks 133-115. Cleveland 44-38. Milwaukee 51-31. Hawks over the Rockets 130-114. Hawks 43-39. Houston 20-62. Celtics over the Grizzlies 139-110. Celtics 51-31. Memphis 56-26. Knicks over the Raptors 105-94. Knicks 37-45. Toronto 48-34. Magic over the Heat 125-111. The Magic 22-60. Miami 53-29. 76ers over the Pistons 118-106. Sixers 4th seed in the East 51-31. Detroit 23-59. Bulls over the Timberwolves 124-120. Chicago 46-36. And Minnesota 46-36. So successful regular seasons for both those teams. Mavs over the Spurs 130-120. Luka Doncic got hurt. As he puts his playoff status in doubt. So that is not good as the playoffs start. Mavs finished the regular season at 52-30. San Antonio 34-48. Lakers over the Nuggets 146-141 in overtime. Lakers 33-49. Denver 48-34. Clippers over the Thunder 138-88. Clippers 42-40. OKC 24-58. Warriors over the Pelicans 128-107. The Warriors 53-29. New Orleans 36-46. Kings over the Suns 116-109. The Kings 30-52. Phoenix 64-18. And the Jazz over the Trailblazers 111-80. The Jazz 49-33. And Portland 27-55. And the final standings for the regular season. Your 1 seed in the East, the Miami Heat. Your 2 seeds, Boston. 3's Milwaukee. 4 Philly. 5 Toronto. 6 Chicago. And your play-in tournament matches is Cleveland at Brooklyn and Charlotte at Atlanta. And the losers of the games, or the elimination game, or the 9-10 loser and the loser of the 9-10 versus the 9-10 winner against the 7-8 loser. The loser of that game will be in the lottery too. And your 1 seed in the West was Phoenix. That was a foregone conclusion for a while. Memphis got the 2 seed. Your 3's Golden State. Your 4's Dallas. 5 is Utah. 6 is Denver. Your 7-8 play-in is the Clippers at Minnesota, and your 10-9 play-in is San Antonio at New Orleans. So, the Knicks and the Wizards, or the Knicks at least, would have been in the playoffs in the West, or in the play-in tournament if they were in the West. Wizards wouldn't have been because the Pelicans have more wins than them, but that's just the funny thing that you have a team in the East in New York that doesn't even make the play-in tournament, and you have 2 teams with worse records than them in it, and 1 team worse than San Antonio, or I'm sorry, New Orleans, that, or 1 team better than San Antonio, worse than New Orleans, record-wise, out of the postseason. So, it should be a fun playoffs, and tomorrow I'm going to do NBA Power Rankings on the show as well. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll recap the weekend it was, and we'll look ahead to tonight's window of games. Friday, Bruins over the Lightning 2-1 in overtime on a game winner by Charlie Coyle. Panthers over the Sabres 4-3. Islanders beat the Hurricanes 2-1. Blues over the Wild 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Robert Thomas. And the Avs over the Jets 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Cale Makar. Saturday, Devils over the Stars 3-1. Caps over the Pens 6-3. Panthers over the Preds 4-1. Maple Leafs over the Canadiens 3-2. Blue Jackets over the Red Wings 5-4 in OT on a game winner by Jack Roslovic. Rangers over the Sens 5-1. Flames over the Kraken 4-1. Ducks over the Flyers 5-3. Blues over the Islanders 6-1. Avs over the Oilers 2-1 in a shootout. Canucks over the Sharks 4-2. And the Golden Knights over the Coyotes 6-1. And then yesterday, Capitals over the Bruins 4-2. Pens over the Preds 3-2 in overtime on a game winner by Sidney Crosby. Lightning over the Sabres 5-0. Wild over the Kings 6-3. Canes over the Ducks 5-2. Stars over the Blackhawks 6-4. And the Jets over the Senators 4-3. Now we look ahead to tonight's lone game at 7 o'clock on the NHL Network. You have the Jets and the Canadiens. Meaningless game with Winnipeg leapfrogged by Vancouver in the wildcard standings. They are 7 back of Dallas. Vegas is 2 back, and Vancouver's 6 back. So not really out of it, but Vancouver kind of made it interesting over the weekend. So it should be interesting to see if anyone makes this even more interesting in the West. Winnipeg's minus 144. Montreal's plus 120. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Winnipeg minus 1.5 is plus 168. Montreal plus 1.5 is minus 205. I'm going to go Winnipeg in regulation at plus 110. They need the game to keep themselves kind of in the picture to get themselves within 5 at the leapfrog Vancouver. So I'm going to go with Winnipeg plus 110 in regulation to knock off the Winnipeg Jets. All right, now we'll recap opening weekend from Major League Baseball. And we will look ahead to the games being played today. Yankees over the Red Sox 6-5-11. Homers in this game. Rafael Devers, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu. Tigers over the White Sox 5-4. Homers in this game. A pinch hit homer for the backup catcher. Eric Haas. Well, it wasn't a pinch hit homer. He had a pinch hit appearance earlier in the game. He hit the tying home run in the 9th. Oh, and Andrew Vaughn homer for Chicago to give them the lead. Phillies over the A's 9-5. Aaron Nola the win. Frankie Montas lost, by the way, in the Yanks-Sox game. Michael King and Cutter Crawford. And then Gregory Soto, Liam Hendricks. So Kyle Schwarber, Chad Pinder, Seth Brown were the homer hitters in that game. Rays over the Orioles 2-1. Andrew Kittredge the win. Dylan Tate the loss. And getting the save was Brooks Raley. Anthony Santander hit the lone home run in that game. Dodgers over Rockies 5-3. Walker Buehler to win. Kyle Freeland the loss. Craig Kimbrell the save. No homers in this game, amazingly enough. Mariners over the Twins 2-1. Robbie Ray the win. Joe Ryan the loss. And Drew Streckenrider the save. Homers. Mitch Haniger and Giovanni Urshela. Giants over the Marlins 6-5 in 10 innings on a walk-off double by Austin Slater. Homers in this game. Joey Bart, Jacob Stallings, Brandon Belt, Jazz Chisholm at the go-ahead homer for the Marlins in the top of the 9th. But it didn't matter. Thairo Estrada tied the game in the bottom of the ninth for San Francisco, and Nelson Slater with the walk-off. And by the way, in the Yankee opener, Josh Donaldson walk-off single. Mets over the Nationals 7-3. Max Scherzer to win. John Gray the loss. Jeff McNeil, Josh Bell were your homer hitters in that game. Blue Jays over the Rangers 10-8. Getting the win was Adam Simber, the loss. Dennis Santana, and the save was Jordan Romano. Homers Brad Miller. And by the way, Texas was up 7-0 in the fourth inning, and Toronto came storming back. Mitch Garver. Adolis Garcia. Teoscar Hernandez hit the tying home run in the bottom of the fifth. And then Danny Jansen hit the tack-on run with a homer in the bottom of the eighth. Braves over the Reds 7-6. Charlie Martin the win. And Revier San Martin the loss. Amazingly enough, no homers in that game. Astros over the Angels 13-6. Getting the win was Rafael Montero. In the loss, Oliver Ortega. Homers, top of the first for Jose Altuve. Edlemis Diaz, Alex Bregman, Jeremy Pena's first big league homer. Kyle Tucker, 3-run shot. Kyle Tucker actually homered twice in that game. And the Pods over the D-backs 3-0. Sean Manaea the win. Oliver Perez the loss. And Taylor Rogers the save. Lone homer in this game, top of the sixth. Jerks and Profar to give the Padres a 2-0 lead. Brewers Cubs postponed makeup day May 30th. Saturday, Rays over the Orioles 5-3. Josh Fleming the win. Jordan Lyles the loss. Andrew Kittredge the save. Ryan Mountcastle and Francisco Mejia homers in this game for each team. White Sox over the Tigers 5-2. Dylan Cease to win, Casey Mize the loss, and Aaron Bomber the save. Yasmani Grandal hit the lone homer in this game. Mariners over the Twins 4-3. Getting the win for Seattle, Andres Munoz the loss, Tyler Duffy the save, Diego Castillo. Luis Alvarez, Tom Murphy, Byron Buxton were your homer hitters in this game. Cardinals over the Pirates 6-2. Getting the win for St. Louis was Cody Whitley, the loss. Mitch Keller. The lone homer in this game was a go-ahead shot in the bottom of the third by Paul DeYoung. Cubs over the Brewers 9-0. Amazing. Justin Steele the win. Brandon Woodruff the loss. No homers in this game, amazingly enough, considering the score. Blue Jays over the Rangers 4-3. Getting the win was Trevor Richards, the loss. Out of the bullpen, Brett Martin the save, Jordan Romano. Bo Bichette homered in this game for the Blue Jays, tying it up for Toronto with 3 in the bottom of the fifth. Yankees over the Red Sox 4-2. Lucas Ludic the win, Nick Pivetta the loss, and Aroldis Chapman the save. Homers in this game. Alex Verdugo top of the second. Bottom of the fourth, Anthony Rizzo to tie it at 2, and the go-ahead shot by Giancarlo Stanton in the bottom of the sixth. Marlins over the Giants 2-1. Getting the win was Stephen Okert, the loss, Jake McGee, and the save, Anthony Bender. No homers in this game. Phillies over the A's 4-2. Kyle Gibson the win, Cole Irvin the loss, and Corey Nebel the save. Homers in this game: Nicholas Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, Gene Segura. None for Oakland. Royals over the Guardians 1-0 in 10 on a walk-off single by Adalberto Mondesi in 10 innings. Getting the win was Colin Snyder, and the loss, Emmanuel Clace. Mets over the Nats 5-0. Chris Bassett the win, and Joan Adon the loss. Grand slam Peter Alonso in the top of the fifth in this game was the big blow. Braves over the Reds 2-1. Getting the win was Kyle Wright. The loss, Vladimir Gutierrez, and the save, Will Smith. No homers in this game. Rockies over the Dodgers 3-2. Getting the win was Carlos Estevez. The loss, Blake Trinan. The save, Daniel Bard. Austin Barnes and Connor Joe homered for their respective teams. And Connor Joe was a go-ahead shot for Colorado. Padres over the D-backs 5-2. Getting the win was Steven Wilson. The loss, Ian Kennedy. The save, Taylor Rogers. The only home run in this game was hit off the bat of David Peralta, which tied the game for the D-backs at the time at 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th. And the Angels over the Astros 2-0. Noah Syndergaard the win, Justin Verlander loss, and Rafael Iglesias the save. Homers in this game both by the Angels, Jared Walsh in the 2nd and Mike Trout in the 8th. And then yesterday, A's over the Phillies 4-1. A's are 1-2, Phillies 2-1. Dalton Jeffries the win, and Bailey Falter the loss. Homers in this game, Billy McKinney, and in the bottom of the ninth to get the Phillies on the board, Gene Segura. Rays over the Orioles 8-0. The Rays 3-0, Baltimore 0-3. Jeff Springs the win, and Tyler Wells the loss. Homers in this game, Brandon Lau. White Sox over the Tigers 10-1. White Sox 2-1, Tigers 1-2. Kyle Crick the win, Tariq Skubal the loss. Andrew Vaughn homered in this game in the top of the 7th to make it 9-1. 3-run shot. Reds over the Braves 6-3. Reds 2-2, Braves 2-2. Hunter Green the win, Ian Anderson the loss, and getting the save, Art Warren. Homers, Tyler Stevenson, Travis d'Arnaud, Matt Olson. Nats over the Mets 4-2. The Nats 1-3. The Mets 3-1. Cal Finnegan the win. Trevor Williams the loss. Tyler Rainey the save. Homers, Nelson Cruz, Francisco Lindor. Rangers over the Blue Jays 12-6. Texas 1-2. Toronto 2-1. Getting the win was Brock Burke, and the loss, Julian Merriweather. Homers, George Springer, Matt Chapman, Nick Solak, Danny Jansen, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and the catcher on Texas, Jonah Heim, and then Brad Miller again. So that was a bit crazy that there's that many homers in this game. Guardians over the Royals, 17-3. Guardians 1-2, Kansas City 2-1. Cal Quantrill the win, Chris Bubick the loss. Homers, Oscar Mercado grand slam to make it 6-0. Jose Ramirez, and that's it. Twins over the Mariners 10-4. Twins 1-2, Seattle 2-1. Bailey Ober to win, Marco Gonzalez the loss. Homers, Byron Buxton, grand slam, Gary Sanchez, Buxton again. Mitch Haniger, Max Kepler, Jorge Polanco, Carlos Correa. So, Correa hits his first homer as a Twin, as does Gary Sanchez. Pirates over the Cardinals 9-4. That's a surprising result. Pittsburgh 1-2. St. Louis 2-1. Getting the win was Miguel Yajir, and the loss, Steven Mass. Homers, Nolan Arenado, Michael Chavez grand slam to give Pittsburgh a 4-3 lead. So we had a couple grand slams yesterday, and then Pete Alonso on Saturday. Brewers over the Cubs 5-4. Brewers 1-2. Cubs 2-1. Brad Boxberger to win. Daniel Norris to loss. Josh Hader to save. Homers. Seiya Suzuki for the Cubs, his first career homer in the bottom of the first. So that's awesome. Willie Adames, Rowdy Tellez, and then Mike Brusso pinch hit in the top of the 7th. Rockies over the Dodgers 9-4. Rockies 2-1, Dodgers 1-2. Julius Chassin the win. Julio Urias the loss. Ty Block the save. Bud Black managerial win number 1,000. Homer CJ Cron. And the catcher from the Rocks, Elias Diaz. Giants over the Marlins 3-2. Giants 2-1, Marlins 1-2. Getting the win was Jarlene Garcia the loss. Trevor Rogers the save. Dominic Leone. No homers in this game. Astros over the Angels 4-1. Astros 3-1. Angels 1-3. Jose Urquidy to win. Jose Suarez the loss. And Ryan Presley the save. The only homer in this game was by Angels third baseman Jack Mayfield. Wonder what happened to Anthony Rendon. Padres over the Diamondbacks 10-5. Padres 3-1. Arizona 1-3. Getting the win was Austin Adams in the loss. Caleb Smith. Homers. Jurickson Profar grand slams. That's 4 grand slams yesterday. Jorge Alfaro, the catcher. Christian Walker. And from Arizona, Cooper Hummel. Then last but not least, Red Sox over the Yankees 4-3. Red Sox get their first win of the year on Sunday Night Baseball. Yankees dropped to 2-1. Getting the win was Cutter Crawford, the loss Clark Schmidt, and the save Jake Dykman. The lone homer in this game was on the top of the 6th. The go-ahead shot by Bobby Dahlbeck. And it was the debut of K-Rod last night. So, I'm interested to see how that went. I didn't get to watch the broadcast. And the debut of the Sunday Night Baseball crew with Carl Ravitch, David Cohn, and Eduardo Perez, which I saw a little bit of that Reds game. I like the analysts, so you guys know how I feel about Carl Ravitch as a play-by-play announcer. He's better in the studio, I think. And then, I think it should either be Boog Shambi, Ryan Rucco, or Michael Kay doing Sunday Night Baseball play-by-play. Probably Ryan Rucco, because he is a rising star in the industry. He should have gotten that role, in my opinion. Maybe I'm being a little biased here with him and Michael Kay as being thought out as potential play-by-play guys for Sunday Night Baseball. And like Boog Shambi too, but they like him on the radio. All right, today's games. 2 o'clock, you have the Guardians and the Royals. You have Aaron Savali, Carlos Hernandez as your pitching matchup. Royals minus 116, Guardians minus 102, over under 8.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 215, Royals minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm going to go Cleveland on the money line minus 102 to get the win, to get themselves to 500. 215, Pirates Cardinals. Zach Thompson, Dakota Hudson. Cards minus 210, Pittsburgh plus 176, over under 8, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 128, Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 106. I'm going to go with the over. 3 o'clock, Brewers Orioles, Camden Yards, Baltimore's home opener. Adrian Hauser and Bruce Zimmerman. Brewers minus 158, Orioles plus 134, over under 9, minus 110 each way. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 104, Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 125. I'm going to go with the draw first half plus 500. Orioles home opener. I just think that I could see this game being a little bit closer than you think. Maybe 1-1, 2-2 or something like that. 4 o'clock, Rockies Rangers. Rangers home opener. Austin Gomber, Taylor Hearn. Rangers minus 134. Rockies plus 116. Over under 10. Minus 110 each way. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 184. Texas minus 1.5 is plus 152. High total, I know. But I'm going to do the same play as I just did in the Milwaukee-Baltimore game, and that is the draw first half plus 550. I just think this is an absolute shootout. 5 o'clock, Red Sox, Tigers. Michael Wacha, Matt Manning. Red Sox minus 120, Tigers plus 102, over under 9.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 130, Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 156. I like the over in this game. I think the Red Sox offense can finally get going here after not really performing against the Yankees. A's, Rays, 6:30. Paul Blackburn, Luis Patino. Rays minus 225, Oakland plus 188, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Oakland plus 1.5 is minus 110, and same with the Rays minus 1.5, and I'm going to lay the puck or the run line with Tampa Bay. 6:45, Fox Sports 1, Mets, Phillies. Taijuan Walker and Ranger Suarez. Phillies minus 152, Mets plus 128, over under 9.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 160, Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 132. I'm going to go with the over. 7 o'clock, Blue Jays, Yankees from the stadium. Alek Manoah, Jameson Taillon. Yankees minus 112, Toronto minus 102, over under 9, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 146, Yankees plus 1.5 is minus 176. I love the Blue Jays here. Love them. I think this is a pitching mismatch. Wrong teams favored. Manoah was great last year. It was great against the Yankees last year. I'm going with Toronto minus 104. Love it. 7:20, Nats, Braves. Oscar, you know is going for Atlanta, and we know is going for the Nats. Braves are minus 162. Nats are plus 136. I'm going to potentially lay the run line with the Braves. That's going to be my play. 7:30, Mariners, Twins. Chris Flexen, Dylan Bundy. Twins minus 136. Mariners plus 116, over under 9. Overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 184. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 152. Tough one. I'm going to go with the... Oof. I like Seattle first half plus 150. I just think that's good value, and I think this is a game where I could see like the Twins coming back and winning potentially. 9:30, Marlins, Angels. Alicier Hernandez and Michael Lorenzen. Angels minus 146. Miami plus 126, over under 9.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 162. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 132. I like this underdog too. I'm going to go with Miami to win at the Angels. And last but not least, the Padres and the Giants. Nick Martinez and Alex Wood. Giants minus 152. Padres plus 128. Over under 8. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 170. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 140. I'm going with San Diego. They're the better team. Alex Wood was good last year, but I don't know if he's going to repeat this year. As same for the Giants team. They probably shouldn't have won on opening day. The Marlins blew that game. I'm going to go with the Padres plus 128 to knock off the Giants. All right, now we'll go to Major League Soccer as we will recap the weekend. I just want to spend a lot of time on baseball because it was the first weekend, obviously. Saturday, Orlando over Chicago, 1-0. Miami over New England, 3-2. Montreal over Red Bulls, 2-1. Philadelphia over Columbus, 1-0. Galaxy over FC, 2-1. Salt Lake, Toronto, 2-2 draw. Dallas over Colorado, 3-1. Houston over San Jose, 4-3. Nashville over KC 2-1. Portland over Vancouver 3-2. And then yesterday, Charlotte over Atlanta 1-0 and Austin over Minnesota 1-0. All right, now we'll recap the 2 NASCAR races from the weekend from Martinsville. We'll do the Xfinity first, then the Cup. So, coming in first was Brandon Jones. Second, Landon Castle. Third, AJ Allmendinger. Fourth, Austin Hill. Fifth, Sam Meyer. Sixth, Riley Herbst. Seventh, Ryan Truex. Eighth, Ty Gibbs. Ninth, Ryan Sieg. 10th, Jeremy Clements. The rest, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Parker Retzlaff, Daniel Hemrick, Anthony Alfredo, Alex Lab, Kyle Weatherman, Bailey Curry, Matt Mills, Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Derek Griffith, Jade Buford, David Starr, Myatt Snyder, Ryan Vargas, Joe Graff Jr., Shane Lee, Stephon Parsons, Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed, J.J. Gilley, Jeb Burton, Mason Massey, Brandon Brown, Natalie Decker, Howie DiSavino III, Brett Moffitt, and Brennan Poole. And the Cup Series race. And your winner of the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500, William Byron. Second, Joey Logano. Third, Austin Dillon. Fourth, Ryan Blaney. Fifth, Ross Chasen. Sixth, Kurt Busch. Seventh, Kyle Busch, who was my pick. Eighth, Eric Almirola. Ninth, Chase Briscoe. 10th, Chase Elliott. The rest, Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, Chris Boucher, Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Chris Bell, Cole Custer, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Dillon, AJ Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, Harrison Burton, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Denny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Justin Haley, Corey LaJoie, Cody Ware, J.J. Yaley, Josh Bilicki, and B.J. McLeod. All right, now I'm going to do my Major League Baseball power rankings for the season, the start. It's interesting because I have a theme to this. It's called I Won't Be Shocked If Insert Name is Not Around Next Year. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 30, the Baltimore Orioles. They're 0-3. Got swept by the Rays. I won't be shocked if Brian Hyde, it's his last year at the team. He's been around for a while. The Orioles have Adley Rutschman coming up, and I won't be shocked if he's the fall guy. Number 29, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I won't be shocked if it's Brian Reynolds' last season with the team. They are 1-2, got the win yesterday. Brian Reynolds was in trade rumors, so I won't be shocked. This is his last year. Number 28, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are 1-3. I won't be shocked if it's Ketel Marte's last season with the team. He's going to be somebody that could really speed up their rebuild from a standpoint of you can get a lot of assets for him. Number 27, the Washington Nationals, 1-3. I won't be shocked if it's Juan Soto's last season with the team. You're going to be hearing his name in trade rumors because he turned down that extension, and the Nats are obviously in rebuilding, and if they want to go full-blown rebuild a la A's, Orioles, they need to trade Juan Soto. Number 26, the Oakland Athletics. They are 1-2. I won't be shocked if it's Sean Murphy's last season with the team. Sean Murphy, young catcher, you would think that he's a part of their future. I think there's a decent shot that he's not, because of Tyler Soderstrom in their system now. They might trade Sean Murphy. 25, the Texas Rangers. They're 1-2 with the win yesterday. I won't be shocked if it's Chris Woodward's last season with the team. They went out and spent it big, hoping to get early results from it with Corey Seager and Marcus Semien and John Gray. If they don't come through, Woodward could be the fall guy. Number 24, the Cleveland Guardians. They are 1-2. If I'm not mistaken. Yes. I won't be shocked if it's Shane Bieber's last season with the team. This team, I think, could potentially blow the whole thing up. They extended Jose Ramirez. And the question is, what's next with Shane Bieber? Number 23, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I won't be shocked if it's Shohei Ohtani's last season with the team. This is a wild one. This is obviously one that I'm not predicting. He's going to be in a contract year next year, amazingly enough. So I won't be shocked that if the Angels underachieve this year, they trade him after the season to get value for him. Number 22, the Miami Marlins. I won't be shocked if it's Don Mattingly's last season with the team. Don Mattingly's a good manager. I'm surprised he's made it this long with the Marlins. And the woman that's running the show, Kim Eng, didn't hire Don Mattingly. She was hired in 2020. Don Mattingly was brought on in 2016, I want to say, or 2017. Number 21, the Cincinnati Reds. They're 1-2. By the way, Angels 1-3, Marlins 1-2, Reds 1-2. I won't be shocked if it's David Bell's last season with the team. This is a blow it up and rebuild. And usually teams that do that fire the manager too. Number 20, the Colorado Rockies. I won't be shocked if it's Bud Black's last season with the team. I know he just won his 1,000th game. I feel like he's been with the Rockies for a while. They're obviously trying to win. They signed Chris Bryant, or trying to improve, I should say. If they don't improve that much, goodbye, Bud Black. Kansas City Royals are at 19. They're 2-1. As is the Rockies, by the way. I won't be shocked if it's Daniel Lynch's last season with the team. Why Daniel Lynch? They have a lot of prospects up and coming in their system. I could see them wanting to make a win now type of move, whether that's for a veteran pitcher or a veteran hitter down the road. And I think they could use Daniel Lynch as a piece. Number 18, the Chicago Cubs. They're 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's David Ross's last season with the team. I predicted in the preseason show that he was going to get fired after the year. This could be a big rebuild. I don't know if David Ross wants that, so maybe they fire him, maybe he jumps ship. Number 17, the Detroit Tigers. I won't be shocked if it's Michael Fulmer's last season with the team. Michael Fulmer's been around a long time. He's in a contract year. Won't be shocked if he's even traded in the middle of the year. Number 16, the Boston Red Sox. I won't be shocked if it's Rafael Devers' last season with the team. Rafael Devers is in a contract year, as is Xander Bogaerts, but they love Rafael Devers there, and they look at him as more likely to stay than Bogaerts. Or, I'm sorry, he's a free agent in 2024. And he turned down an extension. What if they decide to trade him and go for a different third baseman? That's Bogaerts that's in the contract year. And that's what makes Devers a more interesting pick for this. By the way, Tigers and Red Sox both 1-2. Number 15, the Minnesota Twins also 1-2. I won't be shocked if it's Rocco Baldelli's last season with the team. Rocco Baldelli's done a nice job with the Twins, but they underachieved last year, and then this year they went out and got Gary Sanchez and Carlos Correa. And if they don't make the playoffs, I think he's out. Number 14, the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 1-2. I won't be shocked if it's Josh Hader's last season with the team. Josh Hader, I feel like, has been in trade rumors every single year. Milwaukee, small market. He's a free agent after 2024. So I won't be shocked if they deal him with 2023 left on his contract. Whether that's during the year or after the year. Number 13, the San Francisco Giants. They're 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's Brandon Crawford's last season with the team. They finally called up Mauricio that prospect that they really like. The shortstop, Marco Luciano, which is amazing. Or was it him? I feel like they just called him up. Marco Luciano. Did they call him up? Or maybe it was Mauricio Dubon that got called up. Yeah, it was Dubon that got called up. And in the pipes is the other shortstop, Luciano. So, I won't be shocked if it's Brandon Crawford's last year. Luciano was supposed to be up in 2023. Number 12, the Philadelphia Phillies. They're 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's Joe Girardi's last season with the team. Joe Girardi has been there. I feel like this is year 4 for Joe Girardi, maybe year 3. And if they don't make the playoffs, I don't see him lasting. And plus, Dave Dombrowski didn't hire him. Number 11, the St. Louis Cardinals. They are 2-1. This is a sad one because a lot of people had hopes for this kid. I won't be shocked if it's Alex Reyes' last season with the team. He's a free agent in the 2023-24 offseason. And I think that they might want to move off of him in the offseason, potentially. Or this year as like a piece. Number 10, the New York Yankees. They're 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's Aaron Judge's last season with the team. He turned down the contract extension. That happened right after I recorded on Friday. Yankees offered him 8 years, $230. He turned it down. He wanted 9 years, which is absurd. He's always hurt. He only had 2 good years in which he finished top 5 in the MVP voting both those years, which obviously were last year and in 2017 when he had the big year. So I think this is... Then we got to throw out for sure Aaron Judge's last season with the Yankees. For sure. And some people would still be shocked. Now, this is the more fun one for the New York teams. And I just gave away number 9. That's the New York Mets. They're 3-1. I won't be shocked if it's Jacob deGrom's last season with the team. Jacob deGrom can opt out after this year and become a free agent. What if it's a disappointing year for the Mets? What if he realizes that Steve Cohen isn't this magician? And on the flip side, what if the Mets realize, oh, this guy's always hurt. He's so good, but he's always hurt. He's like our Aaron Judge in a way, except he's a pitcher. They could let him walk. I won't be shocked if it's Jacob deGrom's last season with the Mets. Number 8, the Seattle Mariners. They are 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's Jared Kelenick's last year with the team. If Jared Kelenick's bad, I could see them cutting costs and accepting that he could potentially be a bust and trying to get out of that. I've seen teams panic trade prospects all the time. I feel like he's it, potentially. Number 7, the Chicago White Sox. They are 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's Tony La Russa's last year at the team. Tony La Russa, as we know, Hall of Fame manager. They only lost in the division round last year, and if I feel like even if they win the World Series, I could see a world where he retires. But if they disappoint, I feel like I could see him as the fall guy. Number 6, Los Angeles Dodgers. They're 1-2. I won't be shocked if it's Gavin Lux's last season with the team. If Lux isn't good, if they see something with Lux that they don't like, I can see them throwing him in a trade. Number 5, the Atlanta Braves. I won't be shocked if it's Mike Soroka's last season with the team. Soroka coming off of Tommy John. They're loaded pitching-wise in their organization. Some people are speculating that they could go after Jacob deGrom in the offseason if he opts out. So I could see a world where they trade Mike Soroka in a package to get a hitter. Number 4, the Houston Astros. I won't be shocked if it's Dusty Baker's last season with the team. Dusty Baker, really good regular season manager. Never has won a World Series in his career. If they fall short, I think he's out. Number 3, the San Diego Padres. I won't be shocked if it's Mackenzie Gore's last season with the team. Mackenzie Gore, it's just a sad story. He really hasn't performed to expectations. He's never pitched a pitch in the big leagues. But he was not good in AAA last year in 6 games. And, he was very mediocre last year across 3 levels. So, A-ball, Advanced AA, AAA, and CPX, he had a 1.65 in 3 starts. But, he needs to be better, and I could see them using him as a trade asset down the road because they're deep pitching-wise. Number 2, the Toronto Blue Jays. They are 2-1. I won't be shocked if it's Charlie Montoyo's last season with the team. I love Charlie Montoyo. Did a great job last year, but if they don't live up to expectations this year, if they somehow have injury-riddled season, don't make the playoffs, I feel like Toronto's a very panicky ownership. And I could see them moving on from Charlie Montoyo if they don't make the playoffs. And number 1, the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 3-0. I won't be shocked if it's Tyler Glasnow's last season with the team. Glasnow obviously recovering from Tommy John surgery. He might come back this year. He may not. It looks like that he's not going to be back this year. His walk year is next year, so I won't be shocked if he's traded in the offseason for something, and it won't look like a lot, and then the Rays end up doing well in the deal. All right, news and notes time. A lot to get through here. We talked about Aaron Judge with his contract extension, but news broke last night by Woj is that the Lakers are expected to part ways with Frank Vogel as soon as today. And Vogel says he wasn't told shit after news broke that he's going to be fired. That pretty much sums up their season, too. Shams reported yesterday that there was optimism that Ben Simmons could play in the first round, and Steve Nash denied the report, and he says there's no timetable for Ben to make his debut despite reports of return. Dante DiVincenzo unhappy with the Kings as he didn't start down the stretch of the season. And he limits his value in free agency, he felt. Head coaching targets for the Sacramento Kings: Mike D'Antoni, Mike Brown, Steve Clifford among replacements. I don't think Alvin Gentry is going to survive and get promoted. I think Mike D'Antoni would be a nice fit with Sacramento. I like the idea of him and De'Aaron Fox together. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. unlikely return to the playoffs in time. That's unfortunate for Denver. Gordon Hayward to miss the play-in with discomfort in his foot and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Bad news for the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo in COVID health and safety protocols. That's not good as the playoffs start. Luka Doncic calf strain. Now that puts his playoff status in doubt. Let's cross our fingers that it's not as bad as we thought. Joel Embiid won the NBA scoring title. Good for him. Sabres sign Owen Power to join Buffalo on a 3-year contract. So now he's under contract with the Sabres. Bench is cleared at Wrigley Field on Saturday after there was 3 hit-by pitches in the game, and the Cubs went after Andrew McCutchen. Rob Manfred sent players headphones with a letter of appreciation in an attempt to repair relations, which I thought was weird. And I know what it was. San Francisco brought up Heliot Ramos. I knew they brought somebody up. And he picked up 2 hits in his debut, which is awesome. There's a 20-year-old in Japan that threw a perfect game, 19 strikeouts, including fanning 13 in a row, which was amazing. Rob Gronkowski would only play for the Buccaneers if he were to come back. And the saddest news of the weekend by far, former first-round pick Dwayne Haskins passes away at the age of 24. Very sad news. He got hit by a car in Florida as he was crossing an interstate highway. Really sad. Dwayne Haskins, an amazing player at Ohio State. I thought he was going to be a star. It's just really sad news. Thoughts and prayers to his family and his teammates at Ohio State. Just really sad, and obviously prayers go out to his former teammates with the Washington franchise, which is now the Commanders, and his teammates with the Steelers too, which is really sad. And it's just he was a good kid. It's just super sad that this happened to him. Didn't work out for him in Washington. A lot of turmoil. Didn't play up to expectations. And then he goes to Pittsburgh, and he would have battled for the starting job with Mitchell Trubisky and Mason Rudolph this year. And you never know where things can go. And Trubisky was probably the favorite to get the job in the first place. But I do think that Dwayne Haskins had a shot. And he had tremendous upside. It's just really, really sad. And again, thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his friends, his former teammates at Ohio State with the Commanders and the Steelers, and obviously his coaches as well. And then Adam Schefter broke the news on Saturday morning, and he initially sent out a tweet that made a lot of people scratch their heads and really throw him under the bus on Twitter. Because before saying that he passed away, I'm trying to paraphrase what he said here. He said that he wasn't a great quarterback, essentially, in the tweet announcing his death. And that had a ton of people outraged. And listen, Adam misspoke, absolutely. He should have thought out that tweet better. I won't be shocked if ESPN suspends him, like how Woj got suspended for saying the F word to that senator from Missouri. He said F you and got suspended. This is very bad for Schefter. This is the biggest mishap of his career, if you ask me, of what he did on Saturday. But he deleted the tweet after he saw he was getting destroyed, and then he fixed it. Marcus Spears took up for him. And listen, Adam is a good guy. He just screwed up. I said the same thing when Woj had his incident a few years ago. Adam's a good guy and a good reporter, just like Woj. But this will eventually blow over. People will move on. But it's just very unfortunate that Adam is dealing with this right now. And if he gets suspended or anything, we will obviously talk about it on the podcast. Big news coming down right now from Shams. The Timberwolves are signing head coach Chris Finch and his coaching staff to new multi-year contract extensions. That is great news. Finch deserves it. He has to be in the conversations for Coach of the Year, the year he's had this year. Karl Anthony Towns' best year of his career. Anthony Edwards' year 2 jump. D'Angelo Russell, good year. So, well-deserved, Chris Finch. Bravo. Former St. Peter's star Doug Edert picks new schools. He'll be transferring to Bryant. So that's a Good pickup for Bryant. Doug Eddard. We'll see if Peter Kiss comes back too. Indiana's Trace Jackson Davis declares for the draft. Georgia's Warren Brinson faces misdemeanor charges after allegedly shooting or bees at strangers as part of a viral TikTok trend. That's not great for the reigning champs. And Dabo Sweeney refers to players as baggage handlers in justification of college coaching salaries. Yikes. That's really not nice from Dabo. We'll see if there's more that comes out of this. Rapid fire, Miles Straw, 5 years, $25 million extension with Cleveland. Lucas Giolito to the injured list with an abdominal injury. He'll miss 2 starts at least. Francisco Lindor avoids broken bones after being hit by a pitch in the face. Ravens re-signed Calais Campbell, 2-year deal. That's good for them. We talked about the Aaron Judge situation. And Matt Corral to visit 5 teams. Panthers, Eagles, Steelers, Saints, and Falcons. So that's interesting. We'll see who's rumored to like him the most. NASCAR drivers throw hands at each other in the Xfinity Series as the racer gets rocked by multiple haymakers as the racetrack turns into a boxing ring. That was a really crazy fight that broke out in that race. And in non-sports news, Will Smith banned from the Oscars for 10 years, and he accepts and respects the Academy's decision. So that was bound to happen. It was a matter of how long. Mayor Eric Adams tests positive for COVID, and he also extends the toddler mask mandates as New York City cases rise. So hopefully Adams is asymptomatic and he'll be okay. And that's it for news and notes of the day. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Tough one today. I have baseball and hockey to choose from. I really hope I'm wrong with this best bet that I'm about to do. My best bet from Friday was a push. Because I took the over in the Brewers-Cubs game. Because it was a rain out. I hate this pick, selfishly, but I have to do it. And they went up to plus 102. I love Toronto against the Yankees tonight. They're better than the Yankees this year. Alek Manoah is better than Jameson Taillon. I absolutely love the Blue Jays. You're not going to see Alek Manoah as an underdog a lot, unless if you're going up against like Garrett Cole or Jacob deGrom or Max Scherzer. Or somebody in that realm. So give me the Blue Jays plus 102 at the Yankees to send the Yankees to 500. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today, looking ahead to everything. Tomorrow we'll recap American Idol from yesterday and today as well. And obviously, news and notes and best bet, plus NBA power rankings too. Let's hope Luka Doncic will be okay, though. Hope you have a great day, everybody.